What's up, everyone? Welcome to my channel. My name is Kyaunna Williams, and here we talk about all the things life, right? And with all the things life, it will be more so to encourage you, to help you grow, and to be that person that you desire and you are destined to be. And how am I going to do that? I'm going to be transparent with you. I am going to get down to the nitty gritty of things. We're going to talk about some things, and I'm going to be open to you also requesting for some different types of conversations, right? So let's get into it. Again, I'm Kyaunna Williams. I am from the state of the NC. How can I do that? NC. Hey, that's a C, y'all. Can y'all say N and a C? Hand turn like okay. NC. There we go. NC. And I have experienced so many things, and I want to help you with my experiences to help you to be able to get through what you're going through possibly a lot faster, so then that way I can help prevent you from being in a place stillness, that is unnecessary, right? To be in a place where you are feeling small, or you have to place yourself in a place of being small to allow others to feel like they are empowered, so I want to help you all to do that. In order for me to help you all to do that, I'm going to have to be transparent. I want to talk to you about my life, and then go into other factors as well. So this is the first conversation, we're going to call it. This is the first conversation with you and I, where I first introduce you to who I am. I am a woman that has been a part of many things. I have went through a lot of things intentionally, because it's something that I made a decision to do, not knowing what the end result was going to be. I'm a person that did not feel very confident about herself, very comfortable with herself. I'm a person that made a lot of bad decisions. I'm a person that made a lot of great decisions as well. I am a person that is always learning about herself and how to love on others the way that I am purposely supposed to do so. So let's get started. I grew up in a two-family household until about the age of 9. Around the age of 9, my parents separated. My father, he was domestically abusing my mom, and honestly, I said today, I don't remember any of the abuse at all. Maybe it's somewhere in the back of my head, somewhere hiding, that's waiting to come out. I don't know, but I don't remember it. But I can't say this, I do recall many of people stating that he did, and I have asked my mom about it, and she did confirm it, and I do believe her. So that is that. And after my parents separated about the age of 9-ish, I went to stay with my grandmother, and she was a caretaker of her daughter that was a what they call a challenged individual, and also my grandma was a caretaker of a cousin of mine that aunt, which my grandmother's daughter was not able to, or did chose not to. I'm not sure about the story either. Never really got clarity on that. No clarity, but anyway, that she took care of him as well, and he to this day calls her mother, though she has passed away. He looks at her as his mom. Staying with my grandmother, myself and my older two siblings. We lived with my grandmother after being removed from our parents' home, and with my grandmother, still having a life of her own. She, was open-hearted. Very open-hearted. I get it out. She was very much open-hearted to let us come in, despite of her not really having enough room. She only had a 2-bedroom house, and she let us live there. So yeah, we lived there for sure, for a while. And my grandmother, she had company coming back and forth in the home. But I want to say during that time, that's when I started to experience being molested, and that was done to me for a very long time. And because of that molestation, it was like a domino effect of things that happened in my life, that I pushed myself into, because I felt, for one thing, I felt unloved, I thought that because the reason my parents separated was because of me. Typically, kids feel that way at a young age, and even in their teenage years, when parents separate, they feel like it's their fault. FYI, it's never your fault. It was not my fault. It's no one's fault. The kids is not your fault. So I want you to release that. Just give it all away. That it's not your fault. Um, so I ran away from home after a few years. My home was with my grandmother. I just ran away because I didn't feel protected or anything of that nature. Um, yeah, I just left. And um, I did not finish school, the typical graduation. I actually, because I ran away, I couldn't go to school where I was. So eventually I went to a place called Job Corps, and I got my GED. I got my trade certificate in retail sales. And I then went on to college, and I started cosmetology, did not finish it, because I was all in myself. I was just leaning on myself, my own strength, which I could have done it, but it was a mistake that I made in not doing it. But later on, I went back to school, and next time I'm back in school now. I am a licensed real estate agent, but let me just back that up. But I just want to say, after that, I was dating a young man, and he was not physically abusive or verbally abusive as well. He was just a serial cheater. And though we had arguments, he never abused me in those type of ways. And he was in a healing, looking back on it now, he was in a position where he needed to heal as well. I'm not quite sure where he stands now, but I can look back now on that particular situation and know that he needed to heal as well. It caused me to do a lot of forgiving. And after that relationship, I knew that there was something better for me, because during that relationship, I cheated as well because I got tired of being cheated. I was young, y'all, 21. I think I got out of that relationship, 21, 22. I think I got out of that relationship. I started dating him at like 17, all the way up to 21. Yeah. But anyway, then after that, I did have other relationships in between. So it was like on and off. But after that, I met the guy that I then got married to. And that particular relationship and all the things around it was very abusive. And that was physical abuse, emotional abuse, spiritual abuse, what they call church hurt as well. All the things like that particular relationship I put myself in because I was strong enough. I was at an age that I made my own decision. I did with the other relationship too, but I thought that I was making such a great decision because from what I saw, looking in, is that okay, this is the family that I need. This is what I've been looking for. But actually, I was truly unhealed. I was just dating someone. I believe that it was a mirror image of my father, despite of me not seeing my parents go through those things. I think that's why I think it's in the back of my head somewhere, because I think that I really did see it, but I just can't remember it. I just truly I can't, and I don't try to remember it, but it just it doesn't come to me. But nevertheless, that relationship. I love that guy. I loved him. I didn't know what love was. Didn't know what it was before him. I didn't know what it was when I met him. Because if I knew what love really was, like the understanding of what God says love is, I would not have been in that relationship. I would have left a long time ago. But I thought that this man truly loved me because I remember him protecting me, but then he would be the one that harmed me too. Weird. But later to find out that he was like one of the worstest monsters that I could ever know. He was even worse than my dad because the things that I found out that he did, my dad never done those things ever. But I want to say that I was not healed. I was not in a good place, and I just want to stop and say this. therapy is necessary for us, y'all. Therapy is truly needed for us to evolve into the people that we are destined to be. Life needs to happen for us. So please, if you're in your 20s, don't rush. Please, don't rush to get married. Just take your time and love on you, and talk to someone that is strong, that's professional, that can really give you guidance, because a lot of times we get into marriages and we really don't understand how we are individual people before we try to join hands with someone else, you know. And I know a lot of times the church will tell us, well, if you're having sex, you need to marry this person. If you're pregnant, you need to marry them. That's what they say, and I get it, but just be mindful, because it's okay to say, you know what, I made a mistake. Um, I was with this guy, and I saw how kind he was, to my sons. My two boys, they're not biologically mine, though I love them just like they are. Um, they 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 are, they're my babies. I've had them for 15 years, and my oldest is 18, my youngest is 15. So that tells you a lot. I've had my baby, since he was not even a year old. Um, but it was a particular circumstance. I'm not going to even speak on that situation, but nevertheless, I'm glad the way that God blessed me with my babies, because I wouldn't have it any other way. Any other way. And so I wanted my sons to have, when I knew that my sons were going to be with me permanently, I knew that I wanted them to have what I knew I needed. And I was giving them love and understanding and things that a mom should, but I knew I couldn't give them things that a father should. And I saw that in my ex. I thought that's what I did. But see, the thing about it is, when you don't know what something looks like, you cannot identify it. And when you have been hurt, and you kind of don't have the lens that you need to see out of to notice certain things. And I did not have those things. My discernment with God was not where it needed to be, because I didn't see a lot of things, and I'm not holding myself accountable for it, because I was not the person who did it. Though I was the person who wanted to be with this person, I am not him. So, but what I did need to do, I needed to take accountability, because I did put myself in a relationship with this man. So I needed to make sure that history was not going to repeat itself ever. So after that separation, I'm telling y'all, it was still challenging for me, because still at that time of that day that we separated, I didn't quite understand why, because I was looking at it like, okay, this is God, and God doesn't like marriage to be separated, and I just wanted to really fight for it, despite I was getting my ass beat on a regular. And there was many that knew it. I didn't tell my family about it so much, so even though they had like kind of knew it. It was more so I was like talking about it with his family, and a lot of times people think that Jesus suffered, so you have to suffer as well, and you just have to stick it out, things of that nature. But nevertheless, that's how I know it was God, that God will use the devil, even though the devil think he's using you. God will use the devil to let the devil be your stepping stool. You hear me? Believe it. So moving on from that, when I finally realized that this was the right thing for me, I got those papers signed. The separation was permanent, for a year, and I got those papers signed. I tried to get them signed before the year was up, but I tried to do right. I had to do it right. I had to be actually separated for a year. So in 2022, I was fully divorced, and then things started to come out that what this man I thought was a good father was actually no. No. And my definition was just like off as well. Despite of the things that was hidden, the things that he was actually doing to me, that was not a good father. And I needed to heal. I needed to take some accountability. So I got with a therapist, that someone who truly helped me and helped push me through. And I did a lot of work myself too. I made sure I did it one person. I got divorced in 2022, I dated one person. It's 2026 now, y'all. I've dated one person. Y'all like, why? Because every circumstance and situation is different, y'all. I knew I needed to do something different. I needed to really get to the bottom of what it was. And that one relationship that I had, it lasted probably about 4 months and a half, because when I started seeing things I did not like, I let him know about it. I was typically the person before that wouldn't say anything about things that she would see. I let him know I didn't like it. He didn't change it. Cut him off. Moved on. Don't ever let nobody play up with you. Once you have been through something, once you have been through life and you understand what you don't deserve, do not ever allow anyone to make you think you do. Cut them off and move on. I mean that. Don't play about you. I don't play about me. Don't play about me at all. So, have I had men to want to date me? Of course. Are you serious? All the time. But I didn't. I have friends. I go out on dates, but I am truly intentional about me. Now I am ready to step out and to actually get back on the true dating scene. You know, not just going out on dates, playing around, letting men buy me lunch and all those things. Just having friends. And I'm doing more than just having friends. I'm actually seeing the other candidates because I am ready to. I'm truly ready to move into that phase of life. Why? Because I trust myself. That's something that you have to do as well. You have to trust yourself. And how can you trust yourself? By doing the things you said you're going to do. And when you do it, when you said you're going to do it, and do it and like you said you was, how you said you're going to do it. Stand up for yourself. Be okay with loving on yourself. If no one else does, you're still going to show up for yourself. Be honest with yourself. Treat yourself. I do all the things. I encourage myself all the time. Do I need anyone else to encourage me? Absolutely. I don't need anyone else to encourage me, but I do have those people around me that does, but I don't need that from anyone else, but I do appreciate it when it comes. That's how you can tell when you're taking care of yourself, because if you're the type of person who feel like you're not doing anything unless someone is telling you that, then it's time for you to check yourself, because honey, sir, you are doing well. You're doing better than what you used to. You don't need anyone to validate who you are in order for you to be validated. Okay? You're already that. Validate you every day, single day. God is already giving you his breath. That's all the validation you need. Okay, all of it that you need, every bit of it. Okay, get with it. So I want you all to know that, please. So after that time in my life, I know I needed to do something. I know I needed to do something. I did that. I got my therapist. My therapist, I remember her asking me. She was like, on our first meeting, she wasn't playing with me. She was like, look, I don't want to waste your time. I don't want you to waste my time. How serious are you? What do you want to do? What do you want to do with yourself? Are you ready? How serious are you ready to change? I'm like, yesterday, because I was truly ready, because I had been through so much hell. It couldn't get any worse. It had to get better. It had to get better, right? So she was like, well, come on, let's go. And I've been going ever since, and don't plan on stopping either, period. So how did I get from being a fragile little girl that blamed herself so much because her parents separated and was being molested and ran away from home because she felt like her mother didn't love her, didn't want her daddy didn't love her, wanted her, and felt like she had to give her body away in order to feel worthy? How did she get to come? How did this girl go from walking around with her head down, not feeling accepted anywhere she went, felt like that the world was against her because she had not even a sibling to count on? Where was she? What happened to her? She really was intentional about God and intentional about herself. She found out who she really is and what her capacity is, what she's capable of doing, right? And didn't need anyone else to tell her of that. That's me. I came from all the things that I told you I came from, to being a homeowner, owning 2 properties by the age of 38 years old, okay? Purchasing 2 homes by the age of 38 years old. And I have raised 2 talented, gifted young men, One of my sons is in college, and he's an honor. He is a 4.0 grade GPA holding student. My youngest son, he's in early college, also holding a on the 8 honor roll as well. Both of them are doing very well as young men, young black men, and I am doing very well as myself. So how did I get to this point? I had to recognize the strength that was in me and why God chose me. And I'm still learning, though I'm still learning more about God, I still know who I am. And I know who I'm not. I'm not weak. I'm not fragile. I'm not dumb. I'm a person that is wanted. I'm a person who is truly appreciated. I am a person that is full of God's spirit. I have great discernment. And I'm a person who is going places regardless. I know someone is coming with me. The who I don't know, but I know I am going places, okay? So that I know who I am not. I'm not weak. I'm not powerless. Okay, I know who I'm not. So once you understand who you are not, no one can tell you where you cannot go. Okay, so this is what I want you all to know on this episode, because I'm going to dive in after this. I want to give you all the foundation of what we're going to be talking about. Okay, the foundation of what we're going to be speaking of. We're going to be speaking about, what do you do after the breakup? After the breakup, after you have had your ass beat, after you have been abused by a narcissist, after you have been abused, you know what? After you have been lied on, cheated on, after you have been thrown to the wolves and you come out with the pack, okay? This is what I'm going to tell you about, because a lot of you have been through very similar things, and you feel like, I can't no more. I'm not worthy. I've been through too much. I have too many scars. No, you don't, because you have been through those things. This is why you're able to go up, okay? And I want you to remember that, because, say this with me, because you have been through those things, you are able to level up, okay? And I want you to sit that hand like this, because this holds something, okay? This hand right here holds something just like yours. I want you to hold your hand so you can hold what is going to happen in your life, which is a whole level up. Your arm is going to get so heavy because you're going to have so much in your hand. What happens? You have another hand to assist. Okay, so we are over here leveling up. We are over here doing our things. We are over here showing up and showing out. And I'm going to help you. I want to help you. I feel like this is part of who I am. I need to help you to get to that phase in your life. And how I'm going to do that? By talking to you about the life experiences that I have had, so then that way you can know that you can too. And we're going to walk this thing out together. That's what we're going to do. So today, I want to leave this for you until next time. Anytime you feel less than, anytime you feel like you don't deserve, I want you to ask yourself, why not? And if that why not is because of what you've been through, what you've done, I want you to challenge yourself. Why can't I have that? Because of what I've done. That's what you have done. That's not who you are. Even someone has said to you, someone has left you, all the things, right? Those are all evidence that that person left your life. They're making room for you to go up. You did those things. That's a lesson for you to learn to do it differently, okay? So I want you to challenge yourself. Whatever you have to say negative about yourself, you're going to counter it with, yes, I can, because that was for a reason. I've learned that was a mistake you made. They left. They made room. They wasn't good enough for me. They couldn't hold me, okay? They could not hold me, okay? So now we're going to move forward. So I want you to remember that. Until next time, remember, you are enough, you're valuable, you are amazing, and there is no stopping you. I'll see you next time. It's your girl, Kyaunna Williams. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode.